Well, we are well into this winter storm now, but in the hours before it all began, a winter rush was underway that really left many preparing for the worst. The fear of the amount of falling snow expected, enough to send even a seasoned New Englander to the store for everything from shovels to salt to even fireplaces.
What better day, yeah.
Seekonk Home Depot virtually selling out of pretty much anything snow-related, including snowblowers. In fact, all of these and about 200 others had all been claimed by early Saturday morning.
A lot of reaction based on how much are we going to get, and that's how people react. If it's a couple of inches, we just sell salt and shovels, but when it comes down to, when they start announcing 12 to 16, the snowblowers start going.
Now, obviously, one of the big gets this weekend is milk. Everyone running to the store to try to get their hands on a half gallon or whatever they can get, but not everyone quite understands why they got milk.
Because of 1978, that's probably what it was. Blizzard of 78. I was stuck for 8 hours in the car.
The milk and bread aisles thinning out fast, just like the gates at Green. Rather than take any chances, airlines began canceling flights out of the airport early Saturday, some even offering penalty-free flight rescheduling.
We're nervous. Everyone's nervous.
And in this age of weather warnings, most were of the mentality that if you can't beat them, join them.
We have plenty of food at home. It's warm and we're all set.
Now, at this point, you either have it or you don't. If you don't, you likely won't. That's because many local stores close down early, giving their employees a chance to get home safely. Your best bet tonight is to just sit tight. In the newsroom, Mark Zinni, Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News reporter Mark Zinni is live in Cranston at the EMA headquarters.
Things have actually quieted down quite a bit here at the EMA headquarters in Cranston. Governor Kachiri saying earlier this afternoon that if you really have to have a bad winter storm, ours timed out perfectly. Deciding it's the best way to see the aftermath of the weekend blizzard. Governor Don Kachiri joining others from the state's emergency management agency for a flyover. The second worst snowstorm in the 100 years of record keeping, leaving a deep blanket of white over the state's landscape.
The reason it got cleaned up as fast as it did was it was well organized here, and I, as I say, tip my hat to the general.
The governor giving pats on the back to EMA Director Major General Reginald Centracchio and the others who have literally worked around the clock, then deciding the state's state of emergency could be called off. The 5 o'clock expiration time sticking because more than 500 snow plowing crews were able to clear the state's roadways, thanks in part to the weekend and the Patriots game, keeping people off the roads, preventing any major problems.
We had no major accidents. We had a few minor accidents, but nothing major. We had no fatalities, and we had no fires.
After the long weekend, made longer by Mother Nature, the governor now expecting things to be at 100% Tuesday, with all schools, government offices, and local businesses back open for business. Now, another sign that we are expected to return to normal coming up tomorrow. For those of you who have been left feeling stranded by this winter blast, RIPTA is expected to start running again, all their routes beginning tomorrow morning at 5 in the morning. Now, Governor Kachiri said earlier this afternoon that preparation was really key for preventing any major problems here in the Ocean State. We'll take a closer look at that coming up new at 6. Live with the West Bay Mobile Newsroom, Mark Zinni, Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News reporter Mark Zinni is live with the West Bay Mobile Newsroom.
The Emergency Operations Center located here inside the EMA headquarters in Cranston will actually stay open for just one more night as a precaution in case there are any other possible problems still lurking out there following this storm. But the governor, he says he feels pretty secure with everything, which is why he did let the state's state of emergency expire at 5 o'clock. The second biggest winter storm in the state, dumping not inches, but feet of snow. Governor Kachiri saying his view from above today, showing the accomplishments of the more than 500 plow and sanding crews.
Just kind of open it up so people can get out of them.
Holding his final blizzard of 2005 briefing Monday, the governor saying he's pleased with the results, noting things could have been much worse if it weren't for the planning steps taken by the EMA's director, Major General Reginald Centracchio.
I don't find a whole lot to complain about. Actually, I think everybody did their job, did it extraordinarily well.
A long weekend for most, but mostly an uneventful one. There were no major accidents and no storm-related fatalities. Also, the governor says there were no fires, which could have been impossible to fight in the thick of the storm. And the 60 National Guard troops mobilized to help in the aftermath were released from active duty this afternoon.
I fully expect tomorrow morning we'll be back at 100%.
Some final cleaning up will continue into the night tonight. The governor saying the work was smooth because the goal was to get it off the roads fast, which wasn't easy since it was falling so fast. Now, another important note for anyone out there who may have felt stranded in this blizzard of 2005, RIPTA buses are expected to run again on schedule beginning tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. sharp. And kids, you likely have to go back to school tomorrow. The governor says all school businesses, private businesses, everything should be open on schedule. Live with the West Bay Mobile Newsroom, Mark Zinni, Eyewitness News. 350 plus miles of roadway here in the city of New Bedford, and the mayor says snow mounds just like this one are signs of progress. However, many people who live here say the progress is simply taking too long. The city's Durfee Street Fire Station answering a call Monday night for a woman in labor, only to be stopped on their way by a stuck car, freed from the snow only with their help.
I mean, the street is ridiculous.
A few blocks away on Thomas Street, red-faced residents not just cold, but angry about what isn't being done.
When they get to us is pretty much what they're telling us.
Now, for obvious reasons, some crews have been around to actually clear the way so that in the event of an emergency, fire trucks could actually get to some fire hydrants. But the concern now is, will they be able to get down some of the side streets where trucks and cars are littered about after being stuck in the storm, many of them now still buried. Nikki Senna now concerned because her employer wants her back to work Tuesday, but her car is stuck on her street that hasn't been cleaned once by a city crew.
Right alongside the road, that's the sidewalk. See right up against the house? That's how far the drifts are.
We're looking at about a week's worth of work ahead of us, not only getting the roads passable, but then buttoning them up and cleaning up so that we can return to some degree of normalcy.
Mayor Fred Kayla saying 70% of the streets in the city are clear and crews are making their way around. Those closer here to the south end say they're stuck in South Pole-like conditions unless they clean it up themselves.
I don't know what they're going to do with all this snow.
Now, the city of New Bedford tonight and through tomorrow remains in its own city emergency status. The mayor tonight saying that's why there will be no school here in the city, at least throughout tomorrow. He wants to remind everyone crews are working around the clock, but he says this was not a normal snowstorm. It will not be cleaned up in a normal amount of time. Live with the Southeastern Massachusetts Mobile Newsroom, Mark Zinni, Eyewitness News.